So go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Inhale through your nose and just let it out your mouth. So we're going to take a couple cleansing breaths to simply arrive, right? To feel whatever's coming up in our body, if it's anxiety, if it's any other kind of emotion, and just be with it. And then inhale it in, and then an audible exhale, let it go. So since we're all in the privacy of our own home, we can make as much noise as we want. We can be quiet or we can be audible. It doesn't really matter. But the more important thing is that you allow yourself to breathe, right? So today's class is really, in all my classes, those of you who come on a regular basis know that what I teach is a breath-based practice. And we do some moving meditation. And so just close your eyes and take a couple deep breaths here, allowing yourself to fully arrive. So we start by fully arriving on our mat or the ground. And then we begin to penetrate through the deeper layers by arriving in our breath and arriving in the space. One more breath like that. I'm going to move on to my mat now. And then bring your arms wide out to the side like a T. So, or actually not quite a T, like a V. And then line up your feet with the outer corners of your mat and flex your feet. And then press whatever is touching the ground down. So the back of your head, the back of your palms, the backs of your forearms, your shoulders, your legs, your calves, your heels. And just kind of press everything vigorously down. Take a big inhale. And then exhale, let all that muscular effort go. And then inhale, like angel wings, you're going to slide your palms and your feet together. So bring your arms down by your sides. And then an exhale, you're going to just kind of like making wings on the floor. You're going to open the legs and spread the arms. And then exhale, slide everything back down as you close your feet. One more time like this, just kind of warming up movement and breath. And then exhale. And then draw your knees into your chest and place your palms on the tops of your knees and just make gentle circles in one direction. Like no right or wrong way to move, just breathing and quieting your mind. And then switch the direction of those circles. Deep, full belly breaths will help you quiet your mind and bring you into the present moment. And then come back to center and draw the knees wide and around and in, wide and around in the circular motion. Breathing the entire time, deep, full belly breaths. And then coming back to center and switching the direction of the circles. So bringing them open together and closed and open together. Beautiful, one more time. And then place the soles of the feet flat on your mat. And line up the pinky toes of your feet with the outer edges of your mat. And bring your arms out to the side like a T. So your knees are wide, right? And then drop both knees to the left. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's really just about breathing, quieting your mind. And then bring your left palm to your right ribs, right? And just kind of give them a gentle massage, just back and forth, just opening up the intercostal ribs. And then come back to center, re-extending the left arm, and then drop both knees to the right. All right, so there's no goal here. You don't need to bring the knees all the way down to the floor. It's whatever feels good in your body. One more breath. And then place the right palm to the outside of the left ribs and kind of encourage a little bit of a motion of the rib cage moving away from the floor. Nice. And then come back to center and draw your knees in towards each other. So keep the soles, the pinky toes lined up with the outer edges, and then you're just dropping the knees in towards each other. And this is really good if you have sciatica or lower back pain, right? And just breathe here. A couple deep cleansing breaths. And the more comfortable you can become with the sound of your breath, right, the more quiet your mind will become. And then draw the knees in towards the chest, give them a tug, and then let's just begin to rock forward and back. And if this hurts your back, please skip it, right? Just lie flat on your mat with your knees into your chest. If it's not painful, you can just start to get some motion by rocking back and forth. So nice. And then come to a comfortable seated position. So if you can sit cross-legged and it doesn't hurt your knees, that's the preferable way. If that hurts your knees, feel free to sit with your legs straight out in front of you. So getting comfortable with the notion that there is no right or wrong way to do any of these poses, right? And then you're gonna walk your fingers out to the sides, right? And then you're gonna spread your collarbones wide by turning the palms up. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, simply float the arms up towards the ceiling and have them separated shoulder distance, right? And then turn the palms and then spread them down. So just kind of spreading your wings. On the inhale, you're gonna reach the arms up towards the ceiling and stop when they're shoulder distance. And then next exhale, you're gonna turn the palms down and float them down. Couple more times like that. Deep belly breaths, no right or wrong way to go. Just make sure the shoulders are heavy. Don't let them creep up towards the ear, but keep them down and away from the ears, broadening the collarbones. One more breath like this. And then you're gonna walk the right hand over towards the right and plant the palm if you can. You can also cup your fingers and then just sweep the left arm overhead and you're gonna look underneath the armpit and then you're gonna gaze towards the right hand. So we're just getting a little head and neck and shoulder mobility here. Couple more breaths. And then pressing into the right arm to lift you back up to center, and then just gravitating towards the other side, reaching the right arm overhead at an angle. And then just notice, observe that right shoulder is creeping up towards the ear, and let it come back down, planting it back into the arm socket. And then once again, gazing underneath the arm, and then down towards the opposite hand. So we're just getting a little neck and shoulder mobility. No right or wrong way to go. One more set. And then coming back to center and clasp your hands together behind your neck. And then take the elbows and pull them in, rounding the spine. So it's kind of like a cat and cow variation. And then inhale, arch up and pull the heart through the gates of the arms. And then using the breath, exhale to fold. Inhale to open. 2 more times, nice and gentle. Exhale to fold. Inhale to open. Last time like this. Exhale to fold. Inhale to open. Now we're going to twist to the right. And so you're going to begin to open up the spine and the rib cage and only go as far as it's comfortable. And then when you've gone as far as you can, spread the arms wide out like a T. right? And then notice that that right shoulder has a little bit more room to widen and spread, and then release the right palm down and the left palm to the outside of the right knee. Find the twist. So easy does it, nice and gentle. You're gonna inhale here and pause. And on your exhale, you're gonna twist a little deeper. Couple more times like that. Inhale to pause. Exhale to twist. One more time. Inhale and pause. Exhale to twist. Oh, very nice. And then coming back to center, and once again, clasping the hands together behind the head. And getting nice and wide with the elbows to start as you begin to twist to the other side. So notice if you're twisting more with your head and neck than you are with your rib cage. And try to keep the head and neck in line with the spine so you're not over cranking. And then when you've gone as far as you can, open the arms wide out like a T. And once again, let that left shoulder come down and collarbone widen, and then place the left palm behind you and the right palm in front of you on top of the left knee. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. Inhale to pause. Exhale to twist. Inhale to pause. Exhale as you twist a little deeper. Last set. Inhale. Exhale. And coming back to center, reaching the arms back up towards the ceiling. And when you exhale this time, you're going to just come forward. So don't be goal oriented. This is just about breath, right? And so you don't have to have your head come, your forehead reach the floor. You can go as far as you possibly can. And then just kind of wiggle back and forth in your hips for a moment and see if you can get a little bit more space and release. And if you can walk your fingertips, inch them a little bit further forward, and then let your head and neck go. And take some deep belly breaths into your side body, your rib cage, your back of your heart. Two more breaths in the shape. And crawl yourself back up and come onto hands and knees. Let's get a little hip and spine mobility going. And so separate your knees, hip distance and your arm shoulder distance. And let's take a moment to kind of feel the texture beneath our palms on the mat, like getting nice and grounded and getting out of our heads and into feeling body, right? And then close your eyes and begin to wag your tail from side to side, rock your head and neck from side to side. Maybe start little head and neck circles. And then moving organically in a circular motion with the hips and the torso, coming forward and around and down. No wrong way to do these, right? Just kind of breathing into the hips and into the ribs and the shoulders. Maybe the head and neck also circles. And then perhaps finding some organic shapes if you like, so not necessarily having to move in a circular way, but could be up and down. And then come back to neutral for a moment, pause here. Let's reconnect with that grounding sensation and looking for the texture of the surface of the ground beneath your palms, and then begin to circle in the opposite direction. And remembering which way you went before. And doesn't matter, you know, if you're going in the same direction. Just as long as you're breathing and feeling good and quieting your mind. One more breath. And coming back to neutral spine for cat and cow, so some linear movement. Inhale, arch up, look up, lifting the tailbone. As you exhale, you're going to curl and gaze towards your navel. And repeat a couple times with the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. Couple more times. Feel free to keep the elbows soft and the arms not locked. You know, you can put a nice little bend in the elbow so you can get into the upper thoracic spine. Last time. And then you're gonna bring your hips down towards your heels and come into child's pose. So first child's pose in the cross. Take it easy. Let your elbows be soft. So it's not an active child's pose. It's a soft child pose. Your forehead maybe hits the surface of the mat. And then coming back to hands and knees. And you're going to extend your right palm out. So the right thumb is going to be reaching up towards the ceiling. Feel free to stop at any point along the way. So you can modify anything and everything that doesn't work in your body. And then extend the left leg behind you, hip height, and then flex the foot and then push. So you're going to push the left foot against an imaginary wall as you extend the right fingers in front of you. And gaze slightly forward. Try not to over crank your head and neck. So keep the spine in line and then let that go. And let's switch sides. Left palm's going to reach, taking a moment, right? Each step along the way to ground yourself, to feel supported. And then extending the right leg if you're adding on, and flexing the foot and then pressing. So animating the pose by pressing the right foot back into an imaginary wall, waking up the inner thigh and the right leg, and then extending the arm and the fingers vigorously out in front of you, and then let that go. Beautiful. Then you're going to externally rotate. So we're going to come, so we're going to open up like this, right? So you're here, you were on hands and knees, and you're going to externally rotate onto the right knee, and the left foot is going to come out, right? And then you're going to extend the left arm up towards the ceiling. So this is one where you can take it in stages. You can feel free to stay here, working on finding length on both sides of the rib cage, or if you're adding on, you're going to lift the left leg up off the floor. So this is good for balance and stability and core work and breath work. One more, and then let that go. Coming back to hands and knees and finding your way back into child's pose. And back onto hands and knees, and we're going to do the other side. So you're going to externally rotate onto the left knee, right? So you can take this in stages. You can stay here and work on finding length on both sides of the rib cage. So if you look at me for a second, instead of being concave here, right, you're going to find a way to move the rib cage so that it's level and you're finding space. This is good here. This is a lot of work. Or if you're adding on, you're going to lift the bottom leg. Right? So now you're adding the element of balance. Ooh. Deep belly press here. Grounding down through the left palm and the left knee and the foot, and then extending and reaching through the opposite. And then let that go. Coming back into child's pose. And lifting the torso, coming back to hands and knees. You're going to plant the left palm so you can widen the stance of your knees. So get nice and wide with your knees. Let me turn this way so you might have an easier time seeing what's happening. The left palm's going to come to the center, so it's not underneath the shoulder. It's more towards the center of your body. And then the right arm's going to reach up towards the ceiling. Let's circle the right wrist one way. And then let's circle the wrist the opposite way. And then inhale, twist a little deeper. And on your exhale, you're going to slide down to the top of the right shoulder. And you can, couple options here. You can keep the left hand bent. You can walk the left fingers forward. Or you can thread the left palm underneath the top of the right hip. Right, so there's a couple different options there for you to explore. And then close your eyes here. So a lot of this work we're doing is not forceful. There's no effort required. It's simply allowing your breath and gravity to do all the work. One more breath in this side. And then crawl yourself back up. Take a moment to readjust. And then we switch. The right palm's going to come to the center and the left palm's going to reach, right? And then circle the left wrist one way. Maybe the head and neck circles too. And circle it the other way. And then take a big breath. Get a little wider here. Take an inhale. And then on your exhale, just slide on down to the top of the shoulder. And find any of those variations that worked for you. Either the right arm bent, the right arm straight, or weaving the right arm behind the back and into the top of the left shoulder. No right or wrong way to go. It's about sensation and finding what works best in your body. And then when you arrive, you soften, you let go, you melt into it. So you don't force it, you melt and soften into it. Two more breaths here. Last breath. And then crawl yourself up. And we're going to simply come onto our bellies here. So you're going to lower your hips and crawl down onto the floor and come onto your bellies. And just rock yours to start. You're just going to kind of rock your torso and your hips from side to side. And then untuck your toes. Right, and place, so we're going to come into Sphinx Pose. So you're going to place line up your elbows directly underneath your shoulders and have your arms either separated, shoulder distance, or you can clasp your fingers together. Whichever one gives you better support, right? And then we're going to just circle the head and neck one way. And then circle the head and neck the other way. And then bend the knees, right? And you're going to just kind of windshield wiper those feet in and out. And then you're going to bring your torso all the way back down and overlap your palms on top of each other and just rest your forehead on the top of your palms and then bring both feet to one side and then both feet to the other side. And then come back to center and release the legs, extend them behind you, and take a couple breaths here. And now releasing the palms and letting the forehead rest on your mat. You're going to take your palms and slide them underneath your shoulders, right? So away from your forehead and kind of back towards your ribs and underneath your shoulders. And you're gonna take the shoulders and roll them up, roll them back, and then just pin them down. So a couple times like that, just isolating the shoulder girdle, forward, up, back, and down. One more time that direction, forward, up, back, and down. Oh, it feels so good. Let's reverse the circles, right? So no right or wrong way to move, just kind of feeling the snap, crackle, pop, the opening in the shoulders, and collarbones. One more time like that. Nice. And then clasp the hands together behind your neck. And then lift the palms up off lift the elbows up off the floor for a moment, but keep your forehead on the mat. And then lift your forehead off the mat, just an inch. And then let that go. One more time like that. Forehead lifts, elbows broaden and widen towards the opposite end of the room, and then let that go. Now clasp your hands together behind your back and have your palms up facing towards the ceiling, right? And then take your elbows and let them be heavy. Let them draw down towards the floor, broadening and rounding the back. And then draw the elbows in towards each other. And then reverse, dropping the elbows down towards the floor. Deep belly breaths here. And last time, pull the elbows in towards each other. And now extend the arms behind you. And this is not about lifting in space. It's about broadening and reaching towards the back of the room. And now lift your head and neck. And now release the arms. And now add the legs. Just a couple breaths. Reaching and extending through the lower back. This is back therapy, yoga back therapy 101. And then let that go. And then bring your arms out to the side like a T. Cup your fingers and then slide them in a little bit. And then an inhale, you're going to arch up. And then exhale, you're going to lower. And inhale, arch up, kind of like a little serpent. And exhale, you're going to lower. And now we're going to go side to side. Inhale up, drop the right shoulder down, gaze towards the left palm. Inhale up, drop the left shoulder down, gaze toward the right palm. If it feels better to do this with flat palms, feel free to do it with flat palms. There's no right or wrong way to do any of these poses. Inhale up, exhale, switch. One more time. Inhale up, exhale, switch. Beautiful. Come back to center. Bring your arms out in front of you. Slide them back towards your shoulders. Lift your hips and your torso. Press your hips back towards your heels. Coming back into child's pose. Nice work, everybody. And then coming up to hands and knees. And now we're going to do a little lateral stretching. So you're going to come to your side, come to your right side, and line up. Here's where your strap or your scarf or your bathrobe tie comes in handy. So you're going to line up on the right side of your mat. Anywhere, any variation with your arm that feels good and supportive is the way to go, right? So you can have your arm outside, you can bend the elbow and support your head, doesn't really matter. Or you can have your arm extended out in front of you, right? So you're gonna start by bending the left knee in. And the right leg can either be bent if that feels more stable and supportive, or straight. All right, so there's something for everybody. So start with the knee in and bent. Right? From here, you're gonna either, if you don't need your strap, you don't use it. You can just grab a hold of the foot and extend. If you need your strap or whatever you got, you're gonna hook the left foot and extend it up towards the ceiling. Oh, this feels so good. And then you can kind of just rock from side to side, opening up that hip a little bit. Like, don't be forceful, don't tug, just kind of rock a little bit from side to side. And now we're gonna build the pose a little bit by flexing the right leg. So flex the bottom leg, right? And then see if you can rock as much on that right side of your body as possible. Like, ooh, there's a little delicate balance taking place here. One more deep breath here. And then you're gonna bend the bottom knee, right? And then just let the top foot come down. And then come up. And then lower down. So a little dynamic stretching, working on that IT band here. One more time, come up. And then come down. Nice job. Release your strap, bend the knee. Let's roll on to the other side. So you're gonna kind of extend your legs and flip over. I'm gonna flip around so you can see me and help you set it up. So lining up the edge of your body with the edge of the mat helps. And once again, feel free to modify. The bottom knee can be bent if that feels more supportive or extended. Left hand can bend to support your head and neck. Like, there's many ways to go, right? Then you're gonna bend the right knee to start and open up the hip, right? So there's bending towards me, and then there's bending and opening up the hip. And now grab your prop, whatever you're using, and strap the foot, right? And then up you go. And then rock side to side, in and out, opening up that hip. Oh, that feels good. In and out. Maybe you lose your balance a little bit. And now we build the pose. We're gonna flex the bottom foot, right? So my left foot's gonna flex, and I'm gonna really extend out of the right foot. I'm gonna try and line up vertically with the side of the mat, and it's challenging. We're moving back and forth to try to find that balance. And then take a breath or two here. And then we're gonna do bend the bottom knee, right? And then lower that leg. Oh, nice juicy IT band stretch. And here we go, moving a little dynamically. Inhale, the leg rises. Exhaling, the leg lowers. So using the breath to initiate the movement a couple times. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale to lift. Nice and easy does it. Exhale to lower, beautiful. Release the strap. Let's come on our backs. So just kind of flip it over onto your back. Draw the right knee into the chest. Circle the right ankle one direction. Circle it the opposite way. Circle the knee and the hip one direction. Circle it the opposite. And then go ahead and extend the leg. And you can grab a hold of the back of the thigh. And so notice how I'm not trying to pull my thigh towards my torso. It's just straight up and down. Take a couple breaths here. If you feel that it might be easier for you to use your prop, your strap, your robe, whatever, your tie, your scarf, go ahead and grab that and hang out here like this, in this shape for a couple breaths. But if you don't want to use a prop, you can also just clasp your hands behind the thigh and just breathe here. And then we're going to flex and point the right foot, flex and point, stretching the Achilles and the calf, flex and point and flex and point. And now you're going to open the right leg out to the side. And if that left leg migrates with you, you've gone a little too far. So actually, let's go ahead and place our left palm on top of our left hip and just kind of anchor it down towards the floor. Okay, take a couple breaths here. And then come up, and then we're going to take it into a twist. Right arm out to the side like a T. And you can bend the bottom knee if that feels better on your back, or you can straighten it. No right or wrong way to go. It's just a matter of kind of trying them both on and seeing which one feels better, or maybe a little bit of both. And then my right leg can be bent too. Like, oh, my lower back just went snap, snap, snap. One more breath here. And then roll back onto your back, and we take half happy baby. So the right palm is going to grab a hold of the inner arch of the right foot. And you don't have to be that aggressive, right? And then you decide how much of a stretch you want by pulling that knee down towards the armpit, towards the floor. And then draw the knee back into the chest and bring your nose up to your knees so we kind of squeeze the internal organs a little bit. And then let that go. And take a moment just to breathe here. And let's switch sides. Left knee is going to come into the chest. And you can circle the ankle one way. Once again, if you feel better on your back to bend the opposite leg, the right knee, bend it. And there's no right or wrong way to go here. It's a matter of trying them both on and seeing which one feels better. And then circle the ankle in the other way. And then take the knee and the hip joint and circle it one way. All these things are so easy to do. Right? Don't overthink it. Just breathe and move and quiet the monkey mind. And then when you're ready, you're going to extend the leg, either clasping a hold of the back of the thigh or using your prop. Doesn't matter. Right? So if you're using your prop, it'll look like this. And don't pull or force or tug. Don't pull the thigh towards the torso. Let the thigh be vertical, straight up and down. Deep, rich, full belly breaths, like as if when you breathe, your whole body is filling up with air. And then from here, we're going to point and flex the foot. Just point and flex and point and flex. One more time. Point and flex. And then we're going to open that leg out to the side and placing our right palm on your right hip. So you ground that, anchor that hip down, right? And so if you begin to notice that the right hip starts to migrate off the floor following the direction, you just kind of come back a little bit, come out of the pose a little bit. One more breath. And then we take it into the twist. And so you're going to bring the left arm out to the side like a T now. And feel free to bend the bottom knee if that feels better on your back. If you can get a little bit deeper into the back. And then we twist. Deep belly breaths. And you can also change the shape. You can straighten the bottom leg, you can bend the bottom leg, you can kind of do a little bit of both. And then coming back to center, finding that half happy baby. So the palm, the left palm inside the arch of the left foot. And don't be aggressive with it. Right? Let gravity and your breath do all the work. And if it feels better to bend the right knee, bend the right knee. Right? So it's either straight or bent, doesn't matter. And then if you're going deeper, you're pulling that knee down. And now bring the other leg up for happy baby. Right, so we find the full extension of the pose now. And if you like to rock your hips from side to side, feel free. And now you can grab either the outer edges of your feet, you can grab your calves, you can grab your ankles. There is no right or one way to do this. It's whatever is most accessible to you is the way to go. And then just breathe. Kind of rock from side to side, letting the hips open. So nice. And then bring the soles of the feet together and grab a hold of your ankles if you can. If that's not accessible, you can grab your shins, right? So whatever's easiest to you. And then bring the heels up towards the ceiling for a breath. And then bring the heels down towards the hips for a breath. And keep going like this a couple times. Inhale as you rise, exhale as you lower. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Last time. Inhale, exhale. And now we're going to go as wide as we are going to go today. You're going to bring the legs wide out to the side. And you can bring your hands on your thighs, your calves, or if you can reach your feet, and just take a couple breaths in the splits. And then everyone's going to bring your hands to your inner thighs, and we're going to circle both ankles one way, and then circle them the other way. And then just point and flex the feet. Just kind of point and flex and point and flex. So nice. And draw the knees back into the chest. Give them a tug. And then rock yourself up to seated position. And let's find Pigeon Pose. I love Pigeon Pose. And so your right shin's going to come forward. Actually, before we get into the full variation of pigeon, let's rest on top of the right shin and bring the left leg behind you. So now you're stretching the inner groin and the left hip flexor, and you can just kind of rock from side to side, opening up the hip. And if this feels good to you, feel free to stay here. And if you want to go deeper, we're going to find pigeon. So the right shin's going to come in just slightly. Right? And then we're going to start with just kind of rocking our hip from side to side, opening up the lower back and the hip flexor. And then when you're ready, and if it feels good, if it's calling out to you, you can crawl yourself down. I like to stack my palms on top of each other and then let my forehead rest on top of my palms. And breathe into your back. Two more breaths, softening something here. Maybe it's your shoulders, maybe it's any gripping sensation you have in your mind, maybe it's your jaw, or the palate of your tongue, releasing that. And then crawl yourself up And come back onto your right knee. Prop yourself up onto your right knee. And come onto the balls of the left toes, flexing a foot. And let's circle the ankle around one way. And let's circle around the other way. And then just come to a neutral and then press the heel back behind you. Oh, opening up the calf, the Achilles. And then switch sides. The right shin's gonna come forward and the left leg's gonna come behind you. So feel free to modify everything and anything. If this is not working for you, you can find a modification that does. There's no right or wrong way to do any of this. And then you're just gonna kind of rock from side to side, opening up the lower back and the hips. Maybe the head and neck rocks one way. And then if you want to go deeper into the full extension of pigeon, you're going to bring the left shin forward. And then the right leg behind you. And once again, I like to stack my palms on top of each other, right? And then just gently rest my forehead on top of my palms. And breathe here. And each breath you take, feel your left hip and groin soften into the pose. So it's not about forcing and trying to struggle in the pose, but it's really more about letting go of any effort and softening into it. One more breath. And then you're gonna crawl yourself out of this pose and come back onto the left knee and extend the right leg out behind you onto the balls of the toes. And we're gonna circle the ankle one way. And then circle the ankle the other way. And then just press the right heel back behind you. Like, oh, feel the Achilles and the calf muscle stretch. And then come back to hands and knees and come onto your back. So come lying on the floor. And draw your knees into your chest. And wrap your left arm around your shin. So get into a nice tight ball. And then wrap your right arm around your shin, right? And then inhale, nose to knee, squeeze. And exhale, lower the head and neck. And just keep drawing the knees into the chest. And take a couple breaths. One more breath. And as you exhale, you're gonna uncoil, right? And then stretch from fingertip to tippy toe. Reach, flex the feet, reach the arms, spread the fingers wide, and then let all that muscular effort go. So you slide your palms back to your sides, and we're gonna take the next 5 minutes in Shavasana. So set yourself up into a sweet Shavasana. If you have a pillow you want to place underneath your head, if you have a roller or a pillow you want to place underneath your knees for a little spinal traction, feel free to go there. And we take a cleansing breath, inhale through the nose, and let it go out your mouth. One more time, just like that. Cleansing breath in through the nose and sigh out the mouth. Now, just get as still as possible for the next few minutes and let every bit of muscular effort go. And just allow yourself to melt into the texture of the mat, feeling the weight of gravity beneath your bones, breathing into that space. And then slowly drawing your awareness back into your body by making small movements with your fingers and your toes. And then reach the arms overhead for a full body stretch. So stretch out the lower back, reaching from fingertip to tippy toe. And then draw the knees into the chest and rock yourself up to a comfortable seated position with your eyes closed. So there's nothing you need to see in this moment. And then sit nice and tall. So stack your bones. Line the crown of your head up over your tailbone and your shoulders over your hips, and release the shoulders down away from the ears. So any gripping sensation in the tops of your thighs, your feet, just let that go. Like relax your facial muscles and let your eyelids be soft, and just take a couple breaths here. Breathing into the emptiness. Quiet mind. And bringing our hands together at our hearts, sealing our practice by bowing our heads in deep gratitude. May there be peace in our hearts. May there be peace in our homes. May there be peace in the world. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to unmute you so we can all say goodbye.